Check, check. Can you guys hear me? Crew, crew, crew. Check 1, 2. What you gonna do? Sweet, sweet. All right. So welcome back for another long story short. I'm gonna jump over here. Boom. We got the wonderful Casmalia. Let's make sure we can get some audio from you. Give me a little check 1, 2.
Hi, can you hear me?
There we go. Cool, cool, cool. Man, first time can hear both people. Is this a first time? Takes 3 episodes, but we got it.
That's so
Shit, we got
exciting.
we got mad people in here. What's up, Buck Rogers, Mitch Dodge, Noise, Elma's Nachos, Attack 420, NATO 8. What
Hi,
up? What
Nate.
up, man? So we got a very special guest today, um, with releases on iconic labels like Mousetrap, Insomniac, Box of Cats, My Techno Weighs a Ton, OK, NF, and as of Friday, Holy Molé. Um, yeah. So what's up? How's what you're out in San Diego, right?
I am. I'm in Poway right now, actually.
Nice. How is it out there?
It's really warm. It's beautiful. Lots of hikes.
No
I've been
snow. No.
no, but we just got dumped on actually. So I'm gonna be snowboarding next weekend in Bear actually.
Nice. The beauty of the West Coast is you get sunshine, and like where you live, there's no snow, but you can go to a mountain and go snowboarding.
I
It's
can go
fucking
surf and
awesome.
snowboard in the same day. It's pretty fun.
That's awesome. Um, Dope. So let's just get right to it. We've been doing this show. This is the third episode. We had Gop on. We had Arnold and Lane last week. I've been kind of trying to line these up with the special guests that I have on Dirty Bird, on a couple more that's on the Dirty Bird Twitch channel every Wednesday at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I think I'm gonna extend that, and I'm just gonna start doing a bunch of them. But I I can only there's only 24 hours in a day, so don't hold me to that yet. But yeah. So before we get ready for the guest set on Wednesday, just another vessel to get to know artists that I think are really dope, that are blowing up and doing cool stuff. So let's start right off the bat. How did the name come from? Where did the name come from?
So 8 years ago, I moved to California from Atlanta,
Oh, so
and
you're
I
from
moved.
Atlanta. Oh,
Born and
nice.
raised. Lived there for 20 years. And then I moved to Isla Vista, which is like the college town for UC Santa Barbara. And I went to like the city college there. And I was with my neighbor, and we were just driving around because I was brand new to California. We went like an hour north of Santa Barbara, and we came across a little tiny little podunk town called Casmalia, and I saw the name and I immediately fell in love with it. I'm like, this is going to be my DJ name, because before that, I think it was something cringy, like Electric Dragon or something like that.
Hey,
And
we
then
all
I
got the
saw
cringy ones. It
it was bad.
happens.
It was
It
it
happens.
was really bad. And then I saw it and I was like, all right, that's going to be my DJ name. I didn't know anything about the town, but it was like a booming railroad town in the 60s. And then the government came and buried a bunch of radioactive waste in the sand dunes outside of the town.
Hmm.
So it's kind of a ghost town now. It's radioactive, and it's pretty cool. It's eerie. There's like wild roses growing everywhere, which I think is a
I love
pretty
it.
good metaphor for my music.
The rose grows out
Scary
of
and
out of the radioactiveness.
slightly radioactive, yeah. But I pronounce it Casmalia,
Cosmalia.
and I actually bought the .com domain name from the town a couple years ago, and
Oh
they're not
shit.
happy about that at all. They hate me.
Well, that's the name of the game. You got it. If you got it, that's the internet for you.
Like, sorry, I had to.
More important things than a radioactive town. Um. s-
Definitely.
So okay, I was gonna ask you where you're from. So you're from Atlanta, ATL.
Yep.
And you moved out to California 8 years ago.
Mhm.
So So then, how long have you been writing music for?
Music and like in general,
In
music
general, any kind of music.
since I was like 5 or 6 years old. So
Nice.
I was
So you
I
play
was
instruments?
yeah. So I'm actually a piano and a voice teacher. That's how I've been paying my bills during the Rona. But I started taking piano lessons when I was like 5 or 6. And as soon as I learned how to read sheet music, I started writing my own
Oh, hell yeah.
songs. So I think I might even be able to remember the earliest piano song I wrote. I was like 7, but I won a competition with it. There was a music composition contest for little kids, and I won. And so that was pretty much where it started right there.
And you've been killing it ever since.
I've
Started
been
killing
trying
it at a
to.
young age.
I downloaded Ableton. I bootlegged like Ableton 8 in 2010 because I saw in an interview that's the DAW that Skrillex used. And I was like, oh, I want to be like him. So that's why I have Ableton. But I didn't get serious into it, like really serious until like 2016. Like I played around during college and made a couple songs, but I didn't have my first like notable release until 2017.
Cool, cool. So, well, you're making some noise. The way I heard about the first tune I heard from you was something that Gop sent me. As oh man, it was probably a year. I was playing it maybe a year, maybe no longer than that because I was playing it
It's
on New Year.
yeah. That song is
Um,
actually almost 2 years old now.
man, that's I think that's actually a great thing to talk about. Just to kind of shine some light on how that sometimes music it's almost sometimes it's a great thing, especially for like something that you made a while ago, and like if it came out at that time, yeah, like, who knows what would have happened, but then it comes out, you're like, yo, I made that tune like 3 years ago, and then it like blows up when you put it out. So you never really know. Sometimes I don't know if it's the same for you, but for me, like sometimes I'll finish a tune in a couple days, and then I'll get it ready, and then it'll come out, get ready to come out soon, or it'll take me forever. I'll finally get it signed, and then it will be like, okay, it's gonna come out in a couple months, and then you're like, check in, you're like, hey, when's this coming out? Like, we're still not sure yet, maybe a couple months, and then couple more, couple more.
Couple more.
It works with everything, but I think that it's also that's a cool thing to have as well. Is that, before I go into it, let's talk about it. So this tune, what was it called? Great 808, right? 808.
808. And it's really funny because this one song I made has opened so many doors for me in my life. It's absolutely wild. So I made this in Miami during Miami Music Week,
Shit.
2018 or 19, I don't remember. I think 2019. And I actually was sick. I had a fever, so I wasn't able to enjoy Miami Music Week. So I just stayed in and made this song.
Well, that's where the 808 comes. I get why it was hate.
I was angry. I was like, everyone's having fun, and like I didn't get to have any fun. But I ended up eventually just powering through and going out like the last couple of nights. But yeah, I stayed in. I made this song. I think in like 3 hours it was done.
Crazy.
And when I showed it to my friends, they're like, wow, Shannon, this is the song for sure. And I'm like, yeah. So I sent it out to every single label I sent it to, rejected it, every single one. And I was getting discouraged. So then one day, I added Gop Ollie. I added Ollie on Facebook, and I was like, I think he might like this song. So I messaged him, and he's like, yeah, just email it to me. So I emailed it to him. Didn't hear back for a few weeks, but then someone sent me a video of him. I think it was in Helsinki playing my song, and I'm like, oh my god, yay! But then me and Ollie, I mean, we're good friends now. Like, he's one of my mentors actually, and I love him to death.
Man, he's a great dude.
And then that's how I met one of my best friends. I think he's watching right now, Nate. Yeah, that's how we became friends because his name is 808, and I made a song called 808.
So the song's not connected with 808.
No, I didn't even know that he existed.
Crazy.
But he's one of my best friends now. Yeah, it's really funny.
So we were talking about that with him on the first show, is that he was saying that, I mean, obviously everything got fucked over the past year between the pandemic and uh, our government and like everything in between that touring, releasing records, everything. So like I know I mentioned this the other couple times is I didn't know if I was going to keep continuing with the label or not, let alone uh, ever tour again, or we're still trying to figure out the touring thing, but like let alone really put out music because it's like it takes money to put out music too. So like if you don't have someone funding your label, which I basically just fund Holy Molé, and I was like 3 months of touring that I was planning on setting up me for the rest of the year was just gone in the hole. And then I was like, man, I don't, and it just, I think everyone shared that you just felt like lost. Like, not
Yeah.
that we still, not that we're found now, but like at least we're evolving into something cool, like this show. But
Hmm.
um, he signed that record and was supposed to come
He
out
did.
on his label, and then
We've
wi-
just been pushing it back, and we have no idea when it's going to come out. Hopefully this summer,
well,
because
I think that that's realistic, and but I think that that's I think that I realized this by it happening with 100% because it took a year and a half to come out on Dirty Bird, and everyone was playing it, so everyone's like, "What is that song?" Like where, so people not having access to it except for
it
through
gets
other
hyped
DJ
up.
sets. Yeah, I think it actually you need it's it's a good thing to have one of those every year or so, or a couple of those. So I think that it's a great thing, and man, such a dope tune. But that's essentially
Thanks.
how I got put onto your music, and what you do. So
Hopefully it comes out this year. That's the hope, because like I did make it, almost 2 years ago now. So it's like it's about that time for sure.
well, I don't
I
know
don't know
if
how much
this
longer I want to sit on it.
well, I don't know if this is gonna make you feel better or worse, but the record that me and Treasure Fingers put out this year on Ferris Wheel, we made that record at least 7 years ago, and then we
That's actually really cool.
and then we went and updated the mix and like remixed it again. But we've been be like we're gonna put this out this year, and we were gonna do it on one of our own labels, and ended up um, it's almost like we were kind of scared to put out a disco house record, maybe, or we didn't want to like. There's so many boundaries now that the fucking pandemic happened. It's like fuck this shit. I want to just
Yeah,
do
just
dope
release
shit.
it.
Um, so what do you have coming up in the pipeline?
So right now I have a very special release coming out on Wednesday with a certain label. I'm allowed to announce. Am I allowed to announce this? We decide
Yeah,
I am.
we got the green light,
Okay.
the text message green light from
Yes.
Rami.
So Space Yacht is doing a Tech My House comp. It's coming out on Wednesday. There's a lot of talent on it. It's really exciting. So I have a original coming out there. And then I have another original coming out on In Rotation in February.
Dope. All the
I
homies.
have, I've got
Oh,
another one coming out on my Techno is a 10, another compilation.
hell yeah.
And then I'm working on a bunch of remix, or not, or yeah, I'm working on a remix for Ghetto Blaster and DJ Dion, as well as like a few different collabs with Mousetrap artists.
Dope. So staying busy. I'm
Yes,
I gotta
very busy.
say, personally, all the labels that you just mentioned that you work with, like those are some of my favorite. The people that run those labels and that curate those labels are some of my favorite in the business. So, um, makes a lot of sense. That's why we get along, and that's why I was like, shit. Do you want to do this remix for Evening Purple? Actually, I didn't even think about that. We should actually talk about that. Where it's like, uh, you had. Well, that's the same thing happened with Evening Purple. So I was supposed to put Evening Purple's EP out the end of last year, and then everything gets pushed back a little bit, and pushed it back just enough to where all of a sudden, boom, the pandemic happened. So it was the same thing as like I was like, I felt bad. I was like, guys, I don't know when we're gonna be able to do this, but like, let's plan for like the middle of the year or something. And finally was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna keep putting releases out. But that was because you probably did that remix almost a year ago too. Because I must,
I made that in March of last year.
yeah. Because I was like, oh, do you? I just got these records from these guys that I'm signing to the label, and you want to do a remix, and you just banged it out like that. And I was like, okay, shit, we don't have a date for it yet, so that in the bag, ready, good to go. And then that got pushed back like crazy. But I think all this stuff kind of happens uh, for a reason, and it's gonna work out better in the long run to instead of like blowing everything early and then you can't do any shows. So it's like
Yeah.
it's a good thing. But then when I actually did put it out, um, it was scheduled for the same date as your Mousetrap release. So
Yeah.
I had to pull it and then I had to put it on the comp. So it got delayed again, but I thought I'm super super happy with man, people keep calling my phone. Super happy with how it came out, and like that being on the comp, I think was like a great addition to that. So I'm happy with how everything worked out. I know that that's the music business for you, or whatever
It
you want to call
deserved
it
its
now.
own it deserved its own hype. I hate releasing two records on the same day. I can't give
Yeah,
either the attention it deserves.
no, totally, and that's something that I got a lot of respect for the all the Insomniac guys, and I would have hit him up personally if it was like something where it was different weeks or something, even if it was a couple weeks ahead before or after, but like it was the same date, and it's like there's no way that's gonna work. So
Yeah.
that and it worked out in the end as it always does. So all good with that. Two Tails, Maple Haze,
They're
what
awesome
up?
to work with.
Yeah, those awesome guys over there. Um, okay, so let's take it back to where you were. When did you start? So when you so you got Ableton in 2017. So that's basically when you started writing house music.
Oh, no. I got Ableton in 2010. I bootlegged
Oh,
version 8.
oh,
Yeah, I just
you said
poked
version
around.
8. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I just poked around at it for a few years, tried to figure it out all by myself. But then I was also going to college, and at one point I was taking like 20 credit hours in a semester or something ridiculous like that. So I barely had time to work on music. But then I graduated in 2016, and that's when I started taking it pretty seriously. And then I had my first like notable release in 2017 with Hood Politics Records. I think I was their fifth ever EP.
Word.
Actually, I have
What
two
they're
EPs
out
with
of
Hood
England
Politics.
or they're out of London or
They're
something?
out of San Diego. Actually, no, a couple of the guys moved to LA, but they were a San Diego based house label.
I mixed that
And
up.
yeah, those guys were fun to work with. And then I released an EP on Rock Bottom Records, which is LA based. And then from there, let's see, I had my first box of cats released with Two Tails. I believe he's in there. Hi, hey
He
James.
just came with the raid.
Um,
Shout out with the raid from Two Tails.
Thank you. Wow. Yeah, and then actually no, I had a release on Envied Records. It was a remix I did for James in 2018, I think. And then it was, my MTWA EP, Disco Nightmare. I actually did a little tour for that, like a little mini California tour,
Hell
like
yeah.
6 stops. It was really fun. And then I was planning on, I had a bunch of big releases planned for 2020. I was going to play it Lightning in a Bottle. It was going to be a whole thing. Then the Rona happened,
Fucking
and
Rona.
it was awful. So I just made a bunch of music. And then one day, Joe and Aaron hit me up and they're like, we want something for Insomniac.
Man, shout out
So
Joe. Joe is fucking awesome.
Joe's the best. Joe and Aaron are amazing. I love working with them. But yeah, so the song that they actually signed for the Mousetrap and Insomniac compilation, I almost didn't send to them because I didn't think that they would like it. 4-letter word. when they hit me up, they didn't really specify what they wanted. They're like, they actually no, they sent Alive, which was my Box of Cats release with Two Tails. They're like something like this. So I made 5 tracks, and they were all like pretty bouncy, tech house bangers. And then I just slid 4 letter word in there just in case. And that's the one they assigned. So I thought that was pretty
You
interesting.
never know.
You never know.
How about? What about? Do you have any other passions besides singing and piano and music and that we
I
can talk
do.
about?
I love travel. Fuck my life. I love to travel. I've been to 25 different countries, all over Southeast Asia, South America, the Caribbean.
Hell yeah.
That's my heart and soul. I love to travel. I love to go to new places and try the food, learn new things, meet new people.
Well,
So that's
hopefully when
been
this is
probably
all over, that you'll be doing that DJing.
that's the goal. I wanna see Europe. That's the place that I haven't been to that I want to go. Also, I love board sports. I like to surf. I like to snowboard. I like to one wheel. One wheeling is really fun. Have you ever done it before?
Nah,
Do you know what it is?
I used to really be big into skateboarding, but now I'm kind of a poser. I wear some skateboard gear and but that's where you stand on the board and it's electronic, right? Or it's
Yeah,
like
it's like
motorized.
it's just one big wheel, and then there's planks on either side. You put one foot here, one foot
I
there,
would kill
and
myself on one of those.
they're really hard, but they're so much fun. My best friend, she's like one of the best female one wheelers out there, and she'll like send it off of like huge ledges and stuff. And there's actually a pretty big crew of people in San Diego that have been one wheeling. So
I feel like that's almost like a bad word to call someone. Like, "Yo, you got out of my way, you one wheeler."
I'm gonna tell her you said that. It's really funny.
um, cool. So traveling. Some
Surfing.
surf. That's something I still have never tried. It's on my bucket list.
Come out here. I'll show you how to do it.
My first stop definitely is going to be California. Something I want to touch on that you said is, you set up a little mini tour in Cali with the what release was that?
Disco Nightmare EP with my Techno Ways a 10.
Yeah, so that's one of the coolest things to me about California is you can't really do that in New York. Like way back in the day when there was things popping in Rochester and Buffalo and all the different ups because I'm from upstate Western New York, and we used to do these little shows and be able to do that. But I don't think that I know Buffalo still does stuff, but that's not really accessible as in California. You can go to San Diego, then L.A., and then Santa Ana, and then you can go do
Santa Barbara,
Santa
San
Barbara, San
Francisco.
Francisco. So there's so many little and big markets. I think it's a really great place for that, especially when you're starting. If you live over there, it's like you're kind of set to start really. Because when I first started out and I was doing that kind of circuit, I have to spend all that money to fly over there and then find a place to stay. But I've met some of my best friends from doing that. So I in California from being like, yo, I'm coming to play these shows. I'm crashing at your place and then we're going to write tunes. And I just fucking love California so much.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to make right now. So in my I'm not at my house right now, but at my house in that's closer to the beach. I'm actually making a studio that's going to be a studio / crash pad for producers that come out of town. They
Hell yeah.
can produce in my studio, and then there's a futon. And so it'll be
Amazing.
great for anyone that's touring to come through and just, crash at my house.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's um it's just too much fun. And that's what I was kind of late doing our check because I got a phone call from a friend of mine who just one of my best friends from growing up, one of the dudes that I started DJing with and producing with, and we have trouble. Another one of these people that I just have trouble having less than an hour and a half conversation with every time they call, and I haven't talked to them all pandemic. And I next thing I know, I was like, oh shit, I gotta test this stream. But that's what we were talking about was like um, how this Twitch thing is just like kind of an extension of what we've already been doing, where it's like as a producer, as a DJ, make music maker in life, the goal has always been to be a creator and then to travel and to make really dope stuff that connects people and keeps us going as creators and creatives. And like the this that's like another this is almost like, yo, you can come over and crash on my stream, and like we can kick it and talk about it and like not have to leave our bedrooms. Like you got like the bed in the back and everything, and I'm like, man, it's the wild west, but in a good way, I think.
Yeah. I am I'm a little more hopeful that I say than most people that shows are coming back in a very similar way to what they used to be. And I am that way mostly because I am watching, how the ingenuity has been working and how people have been, like, for example, I've played at the Midway. It's a venue in San Francisco, and they do an amazing job of, keeping a totally safe setup. So basically, there's a stage in the front. Because of California law, it's an outdoor restaurant. So it is a restaurant. There's servers and everything, but there's tables. They're all taped off. You have to stay in your little table. There's guards all over the place to make sure you don't leave your table. And there's little stacks of function ones all the way throughout, so no one's tempted to like get up and congregate.
Sick.
And they've been doing an amazing job. And if they can pull that off in San Francisco, which had like some of the I mean, they're not doing it now because we're completely locked down now, but they did it during the summer. And if they can pull that off in San Francisco, which is like some of the tightest restrictions in the country, then it makes me more hopeful that like this is a thing that we can keep doing, even if it's like going to be slow to come back. At least we have that.
Well, it's definitely slowly coming back. I told everybody publicly on my streams, on my Twitter, whatever. I was like, I'm not doing any shows until 2021, and now it's 2021, and there's offers coming in for later on down the year, and I'm trying to be hopeful. Who knows what happens? It could.
I took an offer for a big festival this year. Yeah, I can't say which one, but it's tentatively planned for May. I think that's a little ambitious. I think it's gonna end up being October.
I just took two offers for two festivals in May too, and
you probably know which one I'm talking about then.
they're I think that it's risky for them, obviously, but it's important for people, even if it gets pushed back or gets delayed, is that the industry has to come back, has to safely come back, but it has to come back for not just for so the DJs have an income, but for a million other reasons, for the people that own the clubs, for the kids that want to come out and
for people's mental health, that's the one thing that honestly has been kind of pissing me off when I hear, because like I know like people are trying to be realistic, but whenever I hear someone say that things are never going to be the same, shows are never coming back, it's ruined forever, and then you have like, sorry to get dark here, but then we're losing artists, we're losing people like for mental health problems, and I think that giving people hope is really, really important right now. And that's what I love about the fact that we're hearing that festivals are coming back, because it is giving people hope, even if it gets pushed back a few months or even a year. Like to say that, things aren't going to come back for another year is still way better than saying things are never coming back at all. Man, but the truth is no one knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you said that too, because that is it's almost like the popular thing now is to kind of lose hope, and that's because between the news and what's going on with the government and what's going on with clubs being shut down and all this stuff. There's tons of negative stuff to focus on that's just being force fed to us constantly, and that's why this is important. That's why it's important to have these talks. That's why it's important to play music. That's why it's important to still, even if 20 people are watching you on Twitch, you should still be streaming for those 20 people. And like all that stuff is we need to grow. It's like the negative people are this big ball, and like we're slowly trying to snowball the, at least some sort of hope. And I like how you say that, the hope thing, because we don't know. Nobody knows, but we hope, and we need hope, and
We need it.
and
Like,
it's
actually
really
need
important.
it. Mental health is physical health. Your brain is a part of your body. It's a physical thing that exists. That's what
And
that's what I
what's
don't get.
well, it's scary because literally every. It's not just a U.S. thing. It's not just a UK thing. It's everyone's going through some crazy, crazy shit right now. So music and shows and connecting with people, even though you can't leave your house really, it's still so important because everyone's losing their mind. Like over this weekend I lost my mind like 4 or 5 times, and like that's it's gonna happen, and that's why it's like, as an artist, as a creative, I need an outlet, and I believe in spreading positive stuff instead of negative stuff. So like this is so thank you for coming on and doing this for real.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me. This is really, really fun.
But
I
also,
noticed. Oh, sorry.
no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I noticed a comment in the Twitch. Someone asked what my other musical influences were outside of electronic music. So my favorite bands are Radiohead,
Hell
Pink
yeah.
Floyd. I love Eric Clapton. I love The Doors and Blink 182.
No shit.
So there's
I love all those too. The first concert I ever saw was Mustard Plug and Blink 182. And I was like in 7th or 8th grade. But Mustard Plug is like a Japanese ska band, I think.
I don't think I've heard of Mustard Plug.
I never did, or ever since then. But they opened up and this was Blink 182 is huge now, but they were still like kind of coming up then, and this was like
Oh,
24
so cool.
years ago, probably. This is a long
Oh my
time.
god, that's so cool.
At a Water Street Music Hall in Rochester, New York.
Awesome.
Shit. Well, so what was your first concert or show that you went to?
I went to see Pink Floyd with my parents when I was in middle school, and people were smoking weed. And I was like, Daddy, what is that weird smell? Those people are acting weird. And my dad was like, don't look at them, Shannon, just watch the music.
So
I was like 12.
Do your parents play any instruments?
So my mom actually has a really good voice. The only time I ever heard her sing was in church, but she's a really good voice. My dad doesn't play any instruments. But then on my mom's side of the family, we have more musical people. Like my cousin Anne, she's an amazing pianist. But no, I mean, my parents pretty much just tried me in a bunch of different things growing up. Like I was in ballet, I was in gymnastics, and I was in piano. And the thing I was best at was music, and they just put me in that. And then they Pikachu faced when I moved out here to become a famous DJ. I'm like, I'm going to become a famous DJ. And they're like, whoa, what? I'm like, yeah, you put me in piano lessons when I was 6. What do you think was going to
happen? The Pikachu face. I've never heard that. I like that. I love
really?
Pikachu.
It's the meme. The
Pikachu.
Where he's like, wait, okay, do you not know what it is? Because I'm going to show it to you if you don't know what it is.
No, I know what it is. No, I didn't know that was. I've never heard it called that, and I was like, I like it. I'm gonna be using that. I'm stealing that.
You should please start using it.
Shit. So that was how you got into music then, huh? That's crazy. What about, okay, so what I was asking, God damn. So I was asking, The question I was going to ask everyone, and I'm going to change it because I don't think it's as good as I thought it was going to be. As I found out last week, is what's the weirdest thing in your bathroom? But I want to know what's the weirdest thing in your studio,
Um, well, it's being built right now, so
or maybe your old studio then, or wherever you used to make beats, even if it was your bedroom, which a lot of us, that's how. So what's the weirdest thing in your bedroom then? I almost feel weird asking that.
oh my God. Okay,
That's why I was
like I
trying
said,
to move it to studio.
I'm not at my house right now, but when I was producing in my room, the weirdest thing in there is for sure my snake. I have a snake
What
named Ember.
what
He's
kind of
really cool.
is it like a cobra snake?
Yes, I have a fucking no. I'm just, he's a ball python, and I just put him on my wrist, and he just chills while I produce. He will literally. I'll just wear him like a bangle.
That's crazy. So
Yeah.
well, you feed it mice?
Right now he's eating baby rats. He just graduated from from mice to rats.
The
So
only reason why know that is this kid that we used to skip school and not skip. We would leave at lunch and go smoke, and then sometimes come back to school. But we'd go to his house, and his parents didn't know because his whole room was full of snakes and reptiles and all this stuff. So we would just, and he had all these like drawers, and eventually I think he was growing weird stuff and like psychedelics and like, but we would just go in there and it smelled crazy because there was like 30 or 40 different snakes,
that's
all these crazy animals, and but he would just feed. He had all these dead like freezer mice in his freezer, and he would feed the
I also
snakes to
have
us.
dead freezer mice. My
That's
roommates
how I
love
knew
it.
that.
Yeah, I just like I don't want to feed him the live rats because one, they will attack the snake, they'll bite him and he'll get hurt. And two, I think getting slowly suffocated to death is a pretty horrible way to die. So I buy them already dead, warm them up. I just kind of dangle them in front of his face and he eats them.
Do what is your snake's name?
Ember,
Ember,
like with an E, Ember. Yeah, I got
like the
him at a
rock,
reptile. Yes, I got. Or no, not like the rock, like
or
the
the
like burning flames,
oh, I
embers,
got you, I got you, got you,
like the
got you.
Feed Me song, Embers
Got
in the
you,
Dark.
got you.
Yeah,
Shout out, feed me.
I love Feed Me. I actually met him in 2011.
That's a good homie of mine. He was. We both were in a friend of mine's wedding, and I've my friend used to bring him to Rochester for drum and bass when he was Spore years and years and years and years ago. So John is an awesome guy. Maybe we'll get him on here sometime. Shit.
I have a funny story about John. So it's a good story. So I think it was like 2011. I was backstage at a Feed Me show, Kill the Noise and Bro Safari, and then like a local opener was playing. I
That's
think
who
I
I
had
was just
just
talking to was Kill the Noise. That's what I was saying. Is that this?
yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome. But yeah, I was backstage and one of the openers had his laptop of his 2011 MacBook Pro open and he's on silent. I was like, diddling around. And I had just downloaded Ableton like that week. So I'm like going behind him and I see silent and I'm like looking at all the knobs. I'm like, wow, this is like the craziest thing I've ever seen. And I was like, oh my gosh, how do you remember where all the knobs are? There's so many. Do you take Adderall or something? Like, how does this work? And he turns around. He's like, you are the stupidest bitch ever. You are a dumb slut and you will never make music. And I started to cry, sobbing. I was inconsolable.
He said that to you?
Yeah, I've since talked to him. He has thoroughly apologized. Therefore, I'm not going to blast out who this person is because he's actually quite well known now. But we're cool now. This was like 10 years ago. But I'm inconsolable. I'm crying. Like the sound guy came back to like console me. Feed Me gets done with his set, comes backstage, sees me crying. He's like, "Are you okay, love?" I'm like, "Yes, I'm fine. You're so good. I love your music. I'm such a big fan." He's like, "Well, thank you so much for listening. You should keep making music. Just keep at it." And then we took a selfie, and then yeah, that's
Man.
my story about Feed Me. He's such a gentleman.
Yeah, people that feed me is the man. But
He's
whoever
so
talks
nice.
like that to anybody, I don't care who it is. Those are the kind of people that I'm not. I don't put
We
up with
had a
that shit.
conversation.
If
We
I
had a
was
conversation about it.
if I was
So.
there, I would have smacked the shit out of him straight up. But anyway, anyway.
I'll tell you who it was after the stream if you're interested.
It's funny. It would be funny. You should let me guess first. I bet you I could guess.
He. I don't want to tell because he's
Not yet.
We're
Let's
cool
not.
now.
We're not. We won't even talk.
I'm gonna blast
We
him.
we're doing all. We're keeping everything positive for all this stuff. But
Yes.
but fuck dumb people. Okay. So another question that I wanted to start asking people is, how about do you fuck with crypto at all?
Oh my god. Oh Jesus Christ. Okay, so I shit you not, like 2 months ago, my buddy Lance was like, "You should put all your money into XRP. You should totally do this. It's gonna blow up." So I put like $300 in there. It doubles in size. I'm like, wow, $600. Like, so cool. And then I open up Twitter from a tweet from Coinbase saying that, yeah, we're taking it off our platform. And then I'm reading all these lawsuits. I'm like, do I even want to look at my portfolio right now?
I think that it's actually. I mean, actually, not since yesterday. I think it dipped, like pretty really bad. But
I just waited for it to go back to where it was when I bought it, and then I just cashed out. Took my $300, and
I mean, I think it was
studio monitors with it.
There you go. That's
or part of some studio monitors with it.
I really believe in some of the main crypto. I've recently taken a little bit out to buy necessities, so I actually super grateful that it's doing well. And now it just fucking started tanking yesterday.
Yep, it's a high risk, high reward, high stupid investment. I know like two types of people that do crypto. People that will never shut the fuck up about it and lose a lot of money, and people that just buy it and sit on it for a while, don't talk about it, and then they're probably going to retire on that shit.
Yeah, I have friends that made lots and lots of money on it, but I've been through right when I started putting money into it a long time ago was when it first crashed, and then I was like, fuck this shit. And then I started getting into Chainlink.
That's when you gotta buy. At the crash, you gotta buy. Right now, everyone should buy. Right now. It's crashing.
Well,
get on your Coinbase.
I honestly don't think it's gonna it's like doing one of those scary things where everyone gets like the new people kind of get scared and they pull their money out and then it goes back up, and then it's probably going to do one or two more of those, and then it's just going to fucking crash. So then it's just a little bit higher than it was like a year ago since it started coming up again. But also,
you should buy.
Yeah, don't listen to anything I say because I've not done that well with my crypto.
Me either. Please don't listen to. I'm a producer. I'm not very good with money.
But it's
I don't really understand
It's
money.
interesting to me because, there's just so many different kinds of technologies that this is a real thing, that it's becoming like a contender for legitimate top dog fucking currency of the world. So it's crazy, and it's changing the landscape as everything's changing anyways, but it's creating like new it's another wild west. It's like,
yeah, exactly. I was going to say that. I mean, what people have to remember about it is that the servers that host it, like there are real resources being put into this. Like, it's a legitimate thing. People are like, oh, it's just an internet coin, it doesn't mean anything. No, it does. It represents real energy, real manpower, like people that are maintaining it. It's a real thing. And I think that any investment in, I'm trying to remember what my friend says, like at some point all the bitcoins in circulation are going to be in circulation, at which point it's going to skyrocket. It might be like 10 years from now, but I don't know, just buy the next dip. That's what I'm doing. Assuming at some point shows come back and I have money to invest in things. not just pay
They're
rent.
coming back. They're
They
coming back.
will.
They're
They
coming back.
will. This year. This
The next
year.
couple months are probably going to be a little rocky, but they'll definitely come back. And
Yeah.
until then, we think like gratefully we have Twitch.
Hmm.
That's what I've been.
Oh,
That's you
there's
go.
one thing. I'm going to start doing a weekly live production stream on my Twitch channel. So if anybody wants to tune into that, I'm thinking it's going to be Sundays at 8. Sundays at 8 p.m. I'm going to be doing my weekly live production stream. So you can actually watch me make my music if that is something you're interested in. I take questions and I even take requests if you want me to bootleg something. And yeah, so everyone.
Let's drop your link in the chat. So make sure that you're
I
following you.
will. I will do that right now.
Yeah. So make sure you're following. Like the first song I played, if you caught the beginning of the show, was her remix for Evening Purple. That just came out last Friday. She's got a dope set lined up for this Wednesday. Couple more on the Dirty Bird Live channel on Twitch. If this is your first time or you never seen it before, usually I'll do the intro, I'll play for about 30 minutes, and then kind of hype up the things you've been doing, and then she's got like an hour set that if anyone's been down with a couple more crew or been to any of the things, it's a pretty good time. Does anyone in the chat have any questions for us? Hold on. There was one more thing.
Favorite VST? Oh, Johnny, who's your favorite producer to work with, and why is it me? Yes, I make a lot of collabs with Johnny Two Shots.
Shout out Johnny Two Shots.
I think we're supposed to be collabing on a remix or something. I don't know. I can't. I'm sorry, Johnny. Don't get mad at me. I know you always get mad when I lose track of our projects. We work on a lot of stuff though. We just released Psycho Girl on House of Hustle on a comp. That's a really fun song. What's my favorite VST? My favorite VST is LFO Tool.
Tight.
I use it seven or 8 times a track.
I love
Not
that.
just for side chaining. Not just for side chaining. You can do anything with it.
Gate it and make shit sound all crazy and like
resampling. I'll use like an LFO tool, freeze flatten, and put another one on there, freeze flatten. So many things you can do with it. That's my favorite. Where's my first place I'm gonna play when the country opens? A large festival in a gambling casino city.
Oh shit.
That's all I'm gonna say. Codes Casmalia collab. I'm down.
Let's do it.
Yay!
Hell yeah.
That'll be fun.
We'll have to. I honestly I have not been writing as much music as I would like to be, but
I can send you like half a dozen unfinished projects. You can poke over them and
hell yeah.
See if any of them strike your fancy. What made me finally sit down and focus? I don't even know. I just realized that if I didn't start, I think it was like right after I graduated college, and I'm like, I want to do this with my life, but I realized I would never do it if I didn't dedicate all my time to it. That was probably what did it right there. And it's just, you got to sit down every single day. Inspiration shows up when you do. If you only work when you're feeling inspired, you aren't going to get anything done. I will literally sit down, even if I'm in a bad mood, like just poke around, make a snare, and then call it a day. Just do something every single day. And then, sometimes when I'm most uninspired and I sit down and something will just hit me, and then I'll make some of my best work.
That's great advice.
Yeah. So yeah.
If you could hang out with one historical figure for a day, who would it be?
Oh my my God. Probably Nikola Tesla. I want to ask him some questions.
Okay.
I've heard a couple interesting conspiracy theories about him, and I want to see if any of them are true.
Oh boy.
That's really cool. That's a whole other conversation.
Yeah, I'll say we start talking about conspiracy theories, then we're gonna end up in who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, things are gonna get weird. When is 808 coming out? I don't know.
How many times have you been asked that?
A lot. It's coming out on GOP's label, Prime Society, probably later this year, probably in the summer. We haven't really talked about it. That's my best guess. It's going to come out in the summer or the fall, but it's coming out this year. I don't know when, but it is coming out. If you really have a burning desire for the song, send me an email. I'll probably give it to you.
Oh shit.
Where would I like to? Where would I like to play? Okay. Where would I like to play? My biggest goal is Tomorrowland. Tell me it's not Tomorrowland. Come on. You know you want to play Tomorrowland.
I played Tomorrow World Tomorrow World in Atlanta.
Yeah.
That was probably 7 years ago. That was a long time ago. They did one and then they did another one the year after, and it was a disaster. Like,
was that the one where Avicii was supposed to play, but they got Kygo in at the last second?
I don't know. I played on the Fool's Gold stage. Man, this had to have been 7 years ago. I think it was the first one in Atlanta, and then the second one was really bad. And like,
yeah, because like it rained or something, and that just destroyed everything. Oh God. But yeah, I want to play Tomorrowland. I see the videos and the pictures from that event, and it just blows me away. The gold CDJs. I want to play on gold CDJs. That looks so cool. Like 5 questions of when's 808 coming out. Oh my gosh.
See, we got a little bit of a delay too, so we get the questions a little bit late.
Yeah. Did I do the vocals on? Oh yeah, no. Johnny Two Shots did the vocals on 808. By the way, shit. I wrote the lyrics and I texted Johnny, and he recorded it and sent it. But any of my songs you're listening to where there's female vocals, it's always me.
Hell yeah.
I sing. Yes, I did. I did hit up Johnny at 4 a.m. to do vocals. I did do that.
Well, okay, I'll hit you up next at 4 a.m. and be like, yo, I need some vocals for this.
I'll do it. I will do it.
Shit. Well, so what I usually like to do at the end of this is play something dope, unreleased, hasn't come out yet. You sent me a couple tracks earlier. We got one more question. What artists would you like to collab with most that you haven't before?
I would like to collab with Kyle Watson.
Tight.
Just sending that out into the universe. You know, he's a beast. He's a very polished artist. He's very unique. And I would like, even if it's just as a singer-songwriter, to like write lyrics for one of his songs and sing, I would like to do that. Hell yeah. That's really cool. I'm actually doing that with Tommy Trash right now, where we've got a couple tracks coming out. I'm not sure which label, but it's been really fun to just get in the studio as a singer and songwriter.
He's in Australia, no?
Yes, but we collabed like the week before he moved back because he just found out his visa expired. That's another thing. All these international artists are having to leave. It's really sad.
It's the landscape is changing.
It is indeed.
So I used to chat with Kyle Watson. Word up. Set out DJ Damage. What's up? Man, well shit, thank you for everyone for tuning in. We're gonna be doing a lot of these. I think the next one is gonna be with Small Town DJs. But this Wednesday we have couple more crew on the Dirty Bird Live, starting at 8 p.m. California time, 9 p.m. Mountain time, 10 p.m. Central time, and 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I've been trying to fucking nail. There's so many goddamn time zones.
I just know East and West. That's it.
That's what I used to just do, and now I'm like, I'm not trying to exclude anybody.
Our Chicago friends and our
Chicago
Dallas
crew,
friends, Denver crew.
Oh yeah, Gash, where are you? Anyway. So, thank you for tuning in. We're gonna end. What songs should I play from? So there's 2 of them, right?
Play the radio edit of Talk to Me. That one.
That one's coming out Wednesday?
No. That one is coming out in February on In Rotation.
Okay, cool. Cool. Well, thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you for having me. This has been a lot of fun.
Hell yeah, and thank you for killing that remix, and we'll have to work on some tunes and maybe get a proper release for you for Holy Molé, and
that would be awesome.
Keep killing it and keep spreading the hope. That's my favorite. That's my favorite takeaway from this is like, man, it is just so important. We really got to keep spreading hope, not freaking, the other stuff.
Yeah, things are gonna come back. Everything is going to be okay. Everyone calm down.
The talk to, right? Talk to
me, yeah.
Okay, so guys, we're gonna drop this brand new. You heard it here first. Coming out next month on In Rotation.
Yes.
Talk to Me. Thank you so much for coming through, and I'll well, let's start a collab or some shit.
Yes, I'm super down.
Couple more crew. Big up. I'm gonna end off. Peace. And make sure you're following all their stuff. Drop your link one more time in the chat.
Yeah, I'll drop my
Drop everything in there, just so we can...
Okay. I'll just drop my website because that has everything on it. It's Casmalia.com.
Beautiful.
Not the town. There's all my socials are on that website.
Hey, what's up, Mom? Couple more crew. All right, guys. So we're gonna end off. Peace. Thank you for coming through, and I'll see you Wednesday night.
Bye. Thank you.
All right, guys. Thank you all for tuning in. We're gonna let this one rock out. Peace.